All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign, motion passed.
Ordinance 629, ordinance amending the comprehensive plan of the city of Port St. Joe specifically to adopt city-initiated evaluation and appraisal review based amendments pursuant to section 163.3191 Florida statute. 1, update the goals, objectives, and policies of the future land use, transportation, housing, infrastructure, coastal management, conservation, recreation, and open space, intergovernmental coordination, economic and capital improvements, elements of the comprehensive plan. 2, to update the future land use map series, providing for severability, repealing all ordinance in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date.
Anything else, Clint?
That's it.
All right, any questions? All right, Mr. Baxley. Everybody get the handout. Josh.
Good afternoon. Everyone has a sheet in front of them. First item is the city government complex. We're still working on the 90% plan set and permit packages. The big submittal is the stormwater, and we expect to have that ready to submit next week. So once we get that submitted, then we'll be able to start giving you guys a better timeline of how we expect, because that'll tie through the wetlands, the dredge and field permitting and all that stuff. So making progress there. Big submittal next week for stormwater on it.
Be great. That'll really be good.
Downtown alleys, that one is in design, and that's something that we've been putting behind the Avenue A stormwater, which is the next item, which will actually be submitted for permitting today. So hopefully that'll be a 30 to 45 day process. We don't really expect an RAI on the Avenue A stormwater, and then that'll be ready to put out to bid and construct. So next item to focus on is the downtown alley drainage improvement. I did talk to Jim and John some about that. Some options, we'll be coming up with some options for solutions on that and decide how we want to finalize the design there. Last item is MLK CDBG. I spoke with Jim and John yesterday, and I think we're waiting on some approvals from the state to come back for all of the proposals before we move forward with that. Once those approvals come back, we'll be able to order a survey, and what we hope to have is a kickoff before that design begins with everybody that's involved, so we can make sure the scope is nailed down.
Question? Short, sweet, that's what we like.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Okay, under old business, Jim?
Yes, sir. A lot of projects going around town. As you can see, we got construction on a lot of corners around town. One big one to announce, Reed Avenue closure at 71. It's part of the 71 concrete restructuring there. It's going to be closed approximately from the 25th of this month through the 6th of March. That'll be the intersection of Reed Avenue. They're going to close it down to make some repairs there. Then they're going to go to Long Avenue. So at some point, we could have both of those intersections closed off. So ask everybody to use caution, but there could be a couple of weeks of closures there for the intersection.
So they will close 71 going and coming at that juncture?
71 and Reed Avenue.
And Reed.
Yeah,
So there won't be any traffic there whatsoever.
You cannot cross it.
Cannot.
In there.
But what I'm saying is the 71 going and coming will be open?
Yes, sir.
That will still be open?
Yes, sir. It's the actual section where they're crossing.
Okay.
Yeah, the middle section.
Make
They're
sure.
doing the travel lanes separately, but the middle section, they've got to do some repairs in there. So at some point, those are going to be closed for about 2 weeks, starting the 25th.
I saw email or something that Chief sent out. Thank you for that. Stay on top of it, and I know you will. You already have, obviously. But, so, good. All right, what else?
Also, too, we did have a discussion with the engineers yesterday in reference to Avenue C and D paving. If you remember, we had applied for funding 2 or 3 times and got denied. We pulled those out. We have those estimates, and we're working with Dewberry to get us a task order so we can put together the bidding and the full engineering to go out to bid.
Good. Good.
Work on that.
Good.
Core Park Restrooms, also asked them to work on a task order for engineering specs for the Core Park restroom. We're finalizing the grant agreement, everything for that, so that is the restroom to be built with the $300,000 you got legislated.
What is the parameters or specifics for the size of the bathroom?
I think what was turned in preliminary to, utilize the 300,000 was 20 by 50, maybe? Do you remember? Somewhere around 20 by 50, I think.
How many stalls?
I do not remember.
I think there were 3 to 4 on each side. I mean, we had, kind of working with the parameters we had budget wise to get them.
Well, I want to first focus on what is the need. And if it goes outside the parameters of the budget, then let's focus on finding some more budget. Instead of just focusing on the 300,000, I want to see what will it cost to do a bathroom that would suffice, and not a year from now, we're like, why did the city build this little bathroom? That's my concern. Because we have events down there that are mainly sponsored by the TDC. As we all know, that's who should be funding the bathroom. But, I just don't want to build a bathroom that doesn't work for a crowd of 800 people. Some of these festivals that we're having are bringing in excess of 500. So just keep that in mind. I don't want to get tied up in one plan and then I got to go back in time to try and change it.
I would encourage, all of us guys up here and anybody and staff that hasn't already, seen the public restroom in Apalachicola downtown right near behind Centennial Bank. Sound like about the same size. I don't know. It's been there quite a long time. They have some pretty huge events down there and it seems to work fine. But off the top of my head, I can't remember how many facilities in each side, you know what I'm saying? But I would still like to look at it now. I know our 300 is not gonna pay for something like that with solid brick and take some historical character of downtown Appalachia. But it's the inside that I think.
Well, we all have to remember, tied to this project is a project that we've had on the ground for 6 years at least now, and that's the splash pad.
Yeah.
So you have to have the bathroom at a certain proximity. Commissioner Kerrigan found that out for us. So I want to be ahead of all of that, because you've heard me say it over and over. I want a bathroom where a family can go in, change clothes, just like the bathroom out there at the state park. It's been there through, I don't know how many hurricanes. For all the years, there's no AC, half the lights don't even work. But it was a place that you could go, change your kid's bathing suit, rinse them off, get them ready to go to the concert or whatever. That's what I want to see done. So keep working on it.
Any other question on any of the projects?
City project, anybody? All right, under new business, we have the city manager's contract, Anderson's contract, so come up for renewal. It's a 3-year contract. I think everybody got a copy of it. And hope you understand it. And if that's the case, entertain a motion to approve it for another 3 years.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Hoffman made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Carey. Discussion. Five in the audience. All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passed 4-0. Jim, look forward to 3 more good years.
Thank you.
Been busy these last 3. Done a great job and we appreciate what you do and how you do it. Yeah.
Team effort.
All right, anything else on the new business, guys? Public Works?
Yes, sir, Mayor, thank you. The only item I have is would like to request a reallocation from the board, from a line item specifically capital improvement of budget for, a new hire, if you will, for our sewer department. we became increasingly busy in that department. We've had to take our utility locator, that's now a full-time job for both water and sewer, with the number of locates he gets per day. So it's put us a man short. And I would like to reallocate 538,564,029 specifically, to be moved over to salaries to accommodate that position.
What was that line item originally intended to do?
That was for a CCTV camera for our mains, which we'll push off till next year.
Okay.
And it's hourly or salary position?
It'll be hourly.
Hourly.
Yeah, starting salary.
Okay.
Current
And,
starting.
in that sewer department under your umbrella, how many do you have in there now?
There's 5 now.
Five
This will
right
make
now.
6.
And you hired, I think, Mr. Nobles, didn't he help
He's
you?
water.
He's water.
He's water.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Advertising.
It has been advertised already, sir.
Yeah. We just need to approve the change in the budget for that reallocation.
That's a busy department. As you can see how spread out we are with how many grinder pumps they have to
Oh,
take care of and phone calls.
We go from for anybody that doesn't know, we go from the state park to, the Gulf Bay County line at Beacon Hill.
Up to White City.
So, and up White City, I forgot. Yeah, thank you. So quite a large area. So, yeah, I can understand that. So I'll entertain a motion for that change under Public Works. Commissioner Kerrigan made the motion. There's a second. Second by Commissioner Langston. Any further discussion from the board? Anybody in the public? All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passed 4-0. Question for John before we let him go. All right, surface water, Jim, I see
Yes, sir.
Larry didn't make it today,
Yes,
but
we
you
have
got
got
it.
a form today. What you have before you is RFP 2025-12. This is for a sodium hypochlorite tank for chemicals. Tank don't last too long. This tank is not necessarily really old, but it does need replacement. It does deal with hazardous chemicals in there. We can proceed one bid on page 10. The recommendation is to award the contract to New Aqua Products for $37,200.
In budget, did he budget for it? We're good. We're seeing what's coming. That's quite a costly product, so we need to make sure it stays where it needs to be. Okay, entertain a motion for $37,291 for a new sodium hypochlorite tank for the water plant. Commissioner Langston made the motion, there, second by Commissioner Hoffman. Discussion. But all in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign, motion passed 4. Wastewater, Mr. Joe.
Thank you, Mayor. Last Tuesday, we received a visit from DEP. It was a compliance evaluation assessment. It went very well by all accounts. They were here for several hours touring our facility, looking at what we're doing and the progress we're trying to make. So that went very well. I just want to share that information with you guys. Other than that, business as usual at wastewater.
Do they normally, after their visit, normally send you a written, analysis, evaluation, whatever you want to
Yes,
call
sir.
it? They normally, have you got that yet? Because I know sometimes it changes a lot.
They said they'll have it to us within 30 days. So yes, we will get a written report and summary of their visit.
For all intents and purposes, you think it went well.
Yes, sir, I do.
And did we talk about improvements we're making and what we got coming down the line today?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
They're up to speed on that. I write them a progress report letter every quarter, keeping them up to speed with what we're doing. Follow their consent order.
Great. Yeah, we need to keep going forward on that, sure. All right, any questions for Joe?
Yeah, I have one question. And Jim, this is maybe a question for both of y'all.
Yes, sir.
In regards to the AWT plant, as we moving forward and we're working with them, with the grants that we secured of late, the $25 million grant that presented to us from Governor DeSantis, that is written particularly for that plant, correct?
That's my.
Or rehab, the way they were structured, the rehab on the existing,
Can you speak up? Mr.
Sure. Is that better?
I don't know if that
I don't think
speaker's
it's
working.
loud. I don't think the speakers work. Is
So,
that better? Yeah, so the question was, as we get to moving forward with converting our plant with advanced wastewater treatment plant that we're moving towards, we've secured grants and whatnot. And there's been a lot of talk, why don't we move here, move there or whatnot. I just trying to let those people know that when we write grants, it's for a particular project that we're going after, which is the rehabilitation and then the building of a AWT plant. Getting rid of the lagoons of where they're at, and that is for that particular spot. You can't just take grant money and say, oh, we changed our mind and yeah, why don't we move it over to here and build it somewhere else? It's how grants are written, and I just want everybody to kind of understand that.
any more questions, Joe? All right, moving right along, Mr. Mike, Finance.
Mayor, on the FEMA, we were able to get the contractor for the paving, Clifford Sims, to sign an amended agreement that met all of FEMA's standards. We resubmitted that to them, so hopefully they'll release that final amount of 150, so on that. But the contractor was very amenable and helped us with that. Grant reimbursements, we're fully reimbursed on the CTV DR downtown, the 9 million, we got a $1.4 million grant reimbursement last week. So we don't have anything outstanding on that large project right now. And we're still working, to close out the streets and highways. We've been fully refunded on the, FDOT city streets and highways loan, but we still have to close out that project. Like you mentioned, we're working on that $25 million grant to finalize that grant agreement and, we're moving forward.
That brought something to mind. Last week, Josh brought up that we're waiting to close out the LNR downtown improvement phase 2 or something, and waiting on a check or something. It wasn't in his handout today. Is that
That's
finally?
correct.
Yes.
Over?
Yeah, that's correct. I've got that on my desk. I should be able to get that out to them this week. That grant had some complications with the material countings and who did what on the grant
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, I understand that. It was a contract issue with us, I know,
Yeah.
but
We had
still, we're
submitted-
ready to close it out. Hopefully. I know John was.
We had submitted a reimbursement back in November and it was the confusion, they wouldn't move forward because we hadn't sorted out the problems. Yeah, we sorted out those problems. I've got those revisions on my desk and I'll push those out to them this week.
LK got us what we asked for. We've done that. We did the final pay request close out on there for the deductible change orders. And now we've got to go back to SRF to get our reimbursement. So that's the final step. Yes,
Good.
we are closed out.
Okay.
And Mayor, just on another note, Anchor is working on the closeout package for L&K on the sewer portion too. So we're finalizing that.
Good. All right.
That's all I had, man.
Okay. Questions for Mike? All right, code enforcement, Mr. John, got anything today we need to hear?
No, it's not right off that, but, we're working on getting the house demoed over on the north side. Waiting on Duke Energy, the 2 houses we need to get disconnected, going later.
Okay, okay, anybody got any questions for John? He's on site, so if you have something, go by City Hall, sit down, talk to him and let him know areas that we'd like him to look at. Good to have him with us. Okay, go ahead.
Woman here that lives in Bridgeport, I think they had a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know about that? Yes. Okay, I just wanted to remind you. Yeah. Once we start picking up and just try to help them out there. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
All right, chief.
I just, the only thing I have is, I have 3 items, you should have a list of, property for surplus. I just need permission to take them off the books.
Got a 2018 Ford Explorer, 2016 Ford Explorer, and a Shadow Systems 9mm handgun that he would like to declare surplus. So I'll entertain a motion to allow that. Mr. Langston made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Carrigan. Questions from the board, anybody?
Yeah, I want to remind staff that we also had a police car probably over a year ago that went through the surplus process, but I don't believe we ever did anything with it. Had just dropped the ball. And let's make sure when we get rid of these items, get rid of that one. It's just kind of, you know the one I'm talking about, Chief?
Yes.
All right, yeah, let's include it on this list. It's already been approved for surplus. Just need to call it.
Normally, when you declare it surplus, you just donate it, or we try to sell it, or I forget.
Any of, we've donated some to other agencies or, organizations. And, we're actually working on getting up the list together for an auction. John's got multiple items. He's got surplus and some he's joining surplus. Hopefully can get like Florida Auction Network or something like that in here. I think auction the ones off that, have not been donated.
Okay, very good. Anybody in the audience want to buy a police car or 9mm or something? All in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign, motion passed forward. Oh, next item, we have Ms. Pierce.
No particular changes on pages 12 or 13. I did reach back out to State Historic Preservation this morning because they have not given us our reimbursement that we discussed 2 weeks ago. So I did email and leave a voicemail, and hopefully they were off yesterday, so maybe they'll take care of it today. We are following it closely.
Very good. I've got a question about grants. Add up this list, it's quite extensive and there's a lot of money tied up there. So, we're working toward getting it completed. Anybody got any questions for Ms. Pierce? All right, moving right along, we've got citizens to be heard. Anybody like to speak, please come forward.
Good evening, appreciate the time. I want to continue from last meeting. Actually, for just a friendly reminder, the deeded property, the 60-acre field range was deeded in October of 2008. Just a reminder, 2012, December the same year, St. Joe Timberland give the city of Port St. Joe an easement agreement and egress for the roadway that was built and the utilities that the city of Port St. Joe extended and run through that area. So that happened 6 months later. 6 months down the road, and I'm gonna read this, the city of Port St. Joe deeded, being the grantor, 2.5 acres to Miss Sharon Gaskin for the Northwest Florida daycare. Okay, that was done, and on the bottom of the same page, I'm gonna be quick, and the grantor hereby conveys, which is the city, according to this, grantor also signs to the grantee non-exclusive right to use the property as described, and that's 60-foot road that she went through with the CBD grant that we just talked about, and actually come through the city that was built for the purpose a 60-acre sports complex, and she actually applied for the grant and got it through the city. So Mr. Anderson brought up something, last week that I was actually looked for, and he sent it, I kindly sent it to me, so I'd like to go over that. He read one thing to y'all last week, and I'm gonna finish up with this, what he didn't, everybody needs to know. North Florida Child Development has been deeded to partial land, adequate construct facility, and will qualify for the economic CDBG grant funding through the cycle, okay? And it goes on to say, this proposed project is consistent with the city and the county's comp plan. Y'all just talked about the comp plan, how everything has to be, your P's and Q's to get your money. That state and federal grants tied to that roadway that comes through the city. Okay, so at the same time, the same agreement that once constructed, that roadway and all public utilities that y'all run will remain under the maintenance and responsibility of the city of Port St. Joe. And it has been for the last 13 years. Y'all need to kindly look at your Florida statute, say, well, it's only 4. So y'all have actually tripled that. And only one thing that upsets me about that whole shenanigan, the county, unless they got property down that road that I don't know about, and Bill McCrone making the motion and voting, which is a conflict of interest, y'all create a lot of hardship on Miss Gaskin down there. Y'all really need to look at that and help her out. And I'll finish with this. I was down in the area a couple of days ago, and I actually swung through the dollar store. We got a couple of items and talked to the manager there. And I asked her, did y'all know that road name is being changed? What she told me was, and y'all might need to check. She said, the only person that's told us about any changes is, don't pass out and tell y'all this. The only person told her to give her a warning was Melissa Watkins. The county hadn't come to them, the city hadn't come to them, nobody has done their due diligence to even give them a warning that they're trying to change that road and make a hardship on everybody. So, Mr. Kerrigan, you asked about that memorandum of agreement. I wish y'all would all look at it again. I'll finish with that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I just want to echo, y'all were the grantor. Mrs. Gaskin was the grantee. In order for y'all to be the umbrella so that she could apply for the grant. That's very clear. It's very clear what Mr. Branch just read to you, that this road is under the city's responsibilities. We've been asking for this MOU agreement for a little over a year, Mr. Branch. I'm glad that the city found it. But we need to make sure that we don't give away something that doesn't really belong to the commission. It belongs to the city. So if you are interested and truly want to do what we're asking you to do, you need to challenge the county on their intent, their intention of changing the name of the road that belongs to the city. It belongs to the city, and it's Field of Dreams Road. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ed Long. I would just like to address the committee here today to ask that please, can some way we can get some speakers here in the hall. So we have a lot of elderly people back in the back here that cannot hear what's going on here in the session. I think we need speakers in both of the tables beside here. Mr. Anderson's called on quite a bit, and the people in the back cannot hear. Is there some way that we could get microphones in the back and you gentlemen in the front to speak in the speakers a little bit more often so the people in the back can hear? That's all I have to say.
Jim, do you guys, you do have speakers on your desk in front of you?
We have,
Not speakers, but microphones.
yeah, we do have,
These are, they're
if
dead.
you would like, we have some different types we can try.
Yeah, let's do that because he is not the first one that's been up and asked us to do that. We thought we had the problem solved, but it's probably been a half a dozen off and on. So why don't we get some regular microphones and put in front of everybody? I mean, we probably have left over from when we were meeting upstairs.
We've had complaints from the people that see it on TV that cannot hear.
Yeah, I understand.
And the elderly people, not me, the elderly people in the back cannot hear anything.
Yeah, right.
Thank you
But
for your
you
time.
up front are okay. You always sit in front. So
Yeah, that's why.
Thank you. Thanks, Ron Long. All right, anybody else? Please sign in and then state your name and address.
My name's Dwayne Ayers. I live out of Over Street. I got a code enforcement thing. They said I can't put my implements for my little John Deere tractor out front. I got a car that's got no tags on it because it's not running. I'm not gonna register it yet. I'm not gonna pay taxes and tags and the insurance on the car that's not running. I just moved back to Florida. They're fussing about how my yard looks. It looks better than it's looked in years since my father passed. I don't know who complained and who wants to be crazy, but yeah.
Sir, that is, the county.
Okay.
County property.
Is this-
You'll need to go to them.
This is
This
city of
is
Port
city, this is
Oh,
only,
I thought this was the county.
no, this is
commissioner's
only
meeting.
the city limits of,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and that's all we're in charge of.
Fair enough.
But
Where
there,
are those guys building at?
on Highway 71 by the court.
Down by the courthouse?
yeah,
Okay.
the one right behind the courthouse there.
Right straight
when you
back.
first drive
Yep.
in, keep going back.
All right.
Right
I'm gonna
there,
go
they
see them
meet
right now.
the last Tuesday of each month,
We're fixing to have a meeting.
supposedly.
We're fixing to have a meeting right now, Mr. Riggs.
Oh, okay, all right, thank you, sir, appreciate you coming. Anybody else? All right, I don't remember, let's see, yeah, I wasn't here last time, so we're gonna start with you today.
Yeah, sorry I missed the meeting. I didn't like to go TV to have what I did discuss this week. And having a granddaughter, so that's where I was last week. Then I'll be leaving Thursday, so say a prayer for Sarah, to be her first. That's all I got.
Right, thank you, sir. Gary?
Yes, just to remind everybody, it's Fat Tuesday today. So if you don't have anything going on, I believe there's gonna be a parade downtown that starts at 5 o'clock. You go down Reed Avenue and then up Marina, correct?
Yeah.
And we'll end over by the Hottie Heron where they'll have a function going on. Another thing that's happening today at the same time at 5 o'clock, local gentleman Jim Norton is running for second district congressional. They're doing an event at Hunt's Oyster Bar, and amongst all these different things, my daughter's getting married this weekend, and she chose to get married at George Ford Park. So we're planning for that, and, hope everybody has a great rest of the week.
Appreciate it. Mr. Rice?
Yeah, I just wanted to, focus and concentrate on the other traffic light. I was out on Avenue 8 for 5 minutes. I just want to talk about the traffic. And, I think we need to think about another traffic light in the city. I was in, the stop sign, on Avenue 8 in, 98, and it took me 5-10 minutes to get out. And there was 5 cars ahead of me trying to get out. So we don't do so, we need to stop kicking the can down the road and do something about the traffic before it gets too bad. It's already, building up where we see that something's gonna have to be done. So let's do something before, it gets too bad and we have accidents. I can see it, especially with, our kids and, community of Norfolk St. Joe trying to cross Avenue 8 to get over on the other side. It's dangerous. They're not walking down the sidewalk to the light and crossing over. They're trying to cross over right there on Avenue A and 98. So if we don't get some plans together and try to help our law enforcement out with this traffic that's going down 98, it's going to be something devastating to happen. I hate to say it, but it's going to happen. So let's try to focus on what we can do to eliminate anything from happening in the future and try to just help the traffic that's going on down 98 at the time. And that's all I have.
Well, I talked to the chief last week about, Eastern at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, still having issues there, and that just complicates what you're talking about.
It is something that we're gonna have to, it's something that's gonna have to be done.
Yeah, so let's work with the chief and get recommendation whether we have to do a traffic study, whatever we need to do.
I think we've already been getting, last year we get them to do one, and we're getting no movement from DOT. And we wasn't even talking about traffic light then, I think we was talking about crosswalk. And they weren't willing to do anything. I think they even said they didn't see any pedestrian or bicycle traffic. And I don't know if they went at midnight or what, but quite busy.
Can we put a sign? We have the ability to put a sign at the end of the road. Eastern Shipbuilding is coming out off at Panama City, where we don't allow them to do a left-hand turn there. That's a big part of the problem.
Oh, no.
If we make them go to the right, I don't care if they drive to Apalachicola, but they do. And then go back to Panama City, spend their money.
DOT would have to change that center lane.
Right. And just like they put the little bendable things in front of McDonald's, just take it all the way down.
I think it's a double turn lane there in front of that. We've, the past year, not this year, past year, we had 2 or 3 accidents in the last probably 3 months of the year there at that intersection. 2 of them involved motorcycles.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, Commissioner, too, it's a private road, so I'm not sure legally what we
Yeah.
can or can't do.
It would have to change at 98, which we don't have control over either Howard Road, because it's on St. Joe property all the way up to the stop sign.
Well, up to the easement of Highway 98.
And then
that's where I would say
DOT.
put our sign. Let's go down there and put the sign up, no left-hand turns. And get get one of the patrolmen to work a little off duty or day off.
And we have worked with the Eastern specifically, and that's why we're on Eastern, to ask them to go out the old paper mill entrance road down by the overpass.
Yeah.
We haven't got much traction. I
It's
don't know,
about
this
10.
might be them, just for them to do that.
Out of 200, there's about 10 cars that come out from under the thing. And I asked him, please split them, half and half, one side of the parking lot, go out that side to relieve that pressure.
I'm tired of asking them.
Yeah.
Let's just put the sign up.
Especially right now, we have a big problem that I've been seeing the last couple of days is the construction at the beach. is causing all the cars, when they come through, to be bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
They come to the red light. Yesterday, they were backed up to the overpass because they're letting them go in, one section at a time. It's making it a nightmare.
Well, and I think Commissioner Langston is correct.
I do too.
We should be the ones controlling the traffic and the safety of traffic on our roads, not Eastern Shipbuilding. So let's step up, do what we need to do, and let them know that we're tired of it.
And I don't see any reason we can't put a sign up on our own property.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but is it our property? And it's right away states.
well, that's,
It's basically the state.
well, it's time to ask.
Eastern
forgiveness.
Shipbuilding doesn't really have anything to do with it. The state decided they want to put,
Yeah.
you've got to take a
It's
left
time
hand
to
turn.
ask.
Or we take our concerns directly to DOT. I mean, we have, if we need to get in touch with the right people, we have lobbyists and different people that can put us in contact with the correct people to talk to about this issue. And let's, like you said, don't kick the can down the road. Let's address it and resolve.
We need to talk to you.
These guys.
I will reach out to Clark and find out.
What that is, driver, that is
Pettis,
Pettis, Brian Pettis. I've got a number.
He's texting.
Good deal. All right, good. Oh, that was it. Okay, a couple of things. City complex, we talked about that earlier. Once again, every year we get to this point, we hear that money's drying up in Tallahassee. We may not get much to go toward our city complex this year. We're moving down the road fairly fast. And I've been in talks with Jim about we're gonna have to reach out and look at funding sources if we're gonna do this project. And I think we're past the point of no return pretty much. So I've asked Jim to start looking to see, and of course, once we get this permit issue and all the stormwater we have to mitigate and all those things, it'll give us a better idea about what this whole thing's gonna cost us. And once we do that, we need to look at what little bit we have, what the state's given us, and borrow the rest. And if we have to downsize, whatever we have to do, which I would not be in favor of that, because we gotta build for the future. So, the other thing, I've been talking, to the During Group about, their stormwater, issues and what they would like the city to talk to them about. I've asked them to get the exact dimensions of the property they would like to negotiate with us on. So we can, and I told them specifically that we can't get to that point until we know exactly the exact dimensions from their engineers of what they would like us to do some horse trading on. And so, that's where we are on that. If I get something, from them, I'll bring it up and we'll see if the city has a desire to do some, trading with them. So, they do have some property that might be advantageous for us to have. So, we'll see how that goes. So, that's where we are on that. I know they're anxious to get started. We'd like to have the revenue from that project in the city. It'd be great. But we'll make sure it's the best deal for us that we get. So that's all I've got. Thank you everybody for coming. We'll stand adjourned.